is this not charging? One moment, everybody. I guess this cable is dead. All right. Hello, Flavia. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mimu. '13th generation PC. There's nothing wrong with my PC. Just one of my cables died, that's all. I just got to get a new cable. Okay, so I am a bit tired and I'm a bit busy, but I'm here. So, if you have questions, you should ask me your questions, you know. If you don't ask me questions, then I'm just going to do my work. Okay? So, if you have questions about English, great. If you have questions about teaching or learning, great. If you have questions about culture, great. Maybe you have questions about other things, you want some advice, or maybe you want to just hear an opinion, a different opinion about something. I'm no genius, and I'm no expert at anything. But if you want to hear what I have to say, then I'll tell you. What's the difference between a polyglot and multilingual? Nothing, really. Nothing. Same, it's just different ways to say the same thing. How can you improve your word skills? Do you mean your vocabulary? Of course, coffee again. It's morning. Coffee is my morning drink. If your level of English is upper intermediate, how can you improve more without feeling bored? You have to push yourself. If you feel bored, it's because you are not pushing yourself. That's it. If learning is boring, then you're doing it wrong. Learning should be challenging and interesting most of the time. I haven't uploaded the last class PDF. Guatem, I don't upload PDFs. I don't know what you're talking about. What PDFs are you talking about? Because I don't do that. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I unfortunately, Guatem, I cannot do everything for everyone. I have a lot of things that I am trying to do. I have 50 different projects that I am working on in my personal life. So because I have that much to do, I can't do all that for you. I'm sorry. I can't do all that for you. Especially because I don't get paid for any of this. So, free teaching has its limits. You can't expect to get everything from me for free. Okay? I don't have time to make PDFs for every single live stream I do. Do you know how much time that would take? A lot. But you don't need any notes. Everything I do is on YouTube. Go watch it. Make your own notes. Okay? Go watch my video again and make notes. Watch it again and make more notes. Okay? Learners who succeed are learners who don't expect the teacher to do everything for them. Learners who succeed are the ones who do more, not because the teacher asked you to do more, but because you want to do more, because it benefits you. Okay? Do I like coffee with sugar? Sure. Thank you, David. You're too kind. You read a lot of vocabulary books, but you forgot them quickly. That's because the faster you learn, the faster you forget. So stop trying to do fast ways of learning. You think that fast means efficient, but fast just means you forget more easily because it's a shallow way to learn. Okay, so fast learning is shallow learning. Shallow learning is easily forgotten. Slow down and find more deeper ways to learn. And then those deep ways of learning, they stay with you. You won't forget them. Okay? If you follow me here, I teach a lot about vocabulary. Okay? And you will learn a lot. Okay? Methods, you'll learn a lot of methods for learning vocabulary, and I teach vocabulary itself too. Guatem, I know not everybody can afford to pay me. I understand that. But again, I'm sorry, but I can't do everything. I can't. I'm already working on writing my book for you. Okay? I know not everybody can afford to pay me, but that doesn't change the fact that I cannot do everything for you for free. Okay? Taking notes is just like anything else. Taking notes is something you must practice. That's all. You just have to learn how to practice making good outline notes. Okay? Guatem, I have a YouTube channel that you can watch. I have a podcast that you can listen to. I have a website with a lot of free resources on it for you to study and learn. I am writing my book. I have a blog, and 3 chapters of my book are on my blog. I have articles on my blog about English and about how to get better in grammar and vocabulary and pronunciation and many things. Okay? So I have done all of that for you for free. So I can do no more. That's enough. Okay? Go take advantage of the free things that I have done. Use those. Okay? I'm not trying to be rude. I want you to understand that sometimes you guys ask for too much. I'm already giving everything I can give. I am giving everything I can give. I can give no more. Okay? Yes, this is on YouTube Live as well. Yes. And hello, Johnny. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? Okay. How can you apply for private lessons? You can send me a private message, or you can just go to my website and try to buy them. Some people in China, I think, can still use my website without a VPN, but many people in China apparently can't use my website now unless they use a VPN. I'm working on that. Now I have to, guess what? Now I have another thing I have to do. I have to make another website. I have to create a second website. Why? Just because of all the problems that my Chinese followers have trying to use my website because of the Chinese firewall. So now I have to make a separate site. But you guys are going to have to wait a little while because that takes a lot of time and money and effort. Okay? But I'm going to try to make a second website. It's going to take time, though. And then hopefully my second website will be fully accessible to everyone in China and anywhere else in the world who can't access my my website. Okay? Hello, Jellyfish. Okay? Do I need a Chinese programmer to help on that? Maybe. Maybe I do. Yeah. I have a friend who's helping me, but I could use more help, maybe. So, you know, look, guys, if you don't know this already, hi, this is a business. This is a business. You're in my shop right now. You're in my store. Okay? And guess what? It's really hard to have a small business. It's really hard. It's a lot of work to have your own business. So, any help that you feel you can give me, if you think you can do something that might help me, and you want to, please. I do everything mostly myself with the help of one person who's, I'm lucky enough to have the help of a couple of people, but I don't have a lot of help. So any help that you can give me, if you know something that I don't know, or if you have some skill that you think can benefit me and you want to help, I cannot pay you because I'm not being paid. But yeah, if you want to help, then help me. Okay, let's see. How can you prevent family conflicts when distributing inheritance after retirement? You probably can't. You can't. I don't think you can. Unfortunately, how people react to that situation has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. You cannot change other people. You can only change yourself. So, whatever you do, somebody's probably going to be unhappy when you distribute inheritance. Somebody's probably going to feel slighted. But that doesn't have to do with you. That has to do with them and their personal feelings about that and about money and about how much that matters. Okay? You work with media programming, maybe you can help. Okay, again, any help I can get would be great. Hello, Miguel. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? Miguel is one of the people who has helped me a lot. I'm blessed to have his help. I can tell you what kind of help I need. Well, I am trying to get into the Chinese market more, but it's very, very difficult to do when you live in the United States. It is a pain in the ass. It's a huge pain in the ass to try to have any social media in China when you don't live in China. So I'm trying to figure that out. I have Little Red Book, I have Bilibili, but posting on them is such a pain in the ass. It really is. It's a lot of work, unfortunately. So, any tips that you might have, or any ideas you might have, or suggestions you might have about how I can do that more easily, great. Let me know. Send me a message. And hello, Lynn. And honestly, most of you, if you want to help and you can't just pay me, pay me would be good. But if you can't pay me, then another way to help is to do all the simple things that support a small business. So what kinds of things can you do that support a small business? One, you can buy things from that small business. Purchase things from that small business, right? So hi, that's me. That means buying my lessons and sending me tips and that kind of thing. Subscribing to my channel, whatever, right? But you also can support a small business in other ways, like telling people about it. Okay, so sharing is another way. Okay, you can help a small business. Maybe you have some sort of a service or product that you can help or offer at some kind of a discounted rate or pro bono free, whatever, you know. There are many ways to help a small business. Okay, if you go to my blog and read my blog, guess what? I'm kind of upset. I'm a little bit upset. Do you know why I'm upset? Because I started my blog last week and I have a bunch of great articles that I spent a lot of time writing on my blog, and almost no one has read them or liked them or commented on them. You know, that's not cool. You can't open my blog? Well, let's go and look. Let's find out, why can't you open my blog? You know, I don't know about Iran, so I don't know if there's, like, you know, restrictions like China has in Iran. But here is my blog, right? If you go to here, this is my blog, okay? If you go to the home page, here's the home page, Be a Language Warrior. This is my Buy Me a Coffee page. Okay, and at the top of the Buy Me a Coffee page, right here, it says posts, and that's it. Go here. And now you can go down and see, here's an article I have about why you should learn how to introduce yourself better. Here's an article about a, and the. Here's an article about should, would, and could. You can go up here and you can click on these and say, okay, show me the grammar articles. Oh, here's some grammar articles that I wrote. About prepositions, about would, about every day, about a, and the. You can go and say, look, here are 3 chapters from my book, chapter 1, 2, and 3. Here are some practical tips about small talk, about how to type better. Here is an article about pronunciation. Here's 3 articles about vocabulary, phrasal verbs, time-related words. Okay, there are a couple articles here about etymology. And my favorite articles are my concepts articles. These are my favorite ones to write. So, okay. And Geeker says videos are better than articles. For lazy people, yes, that's true. Plato and Socrates did not have videos. Da Vinci did not have videos. Einstein did not have videos. If articles were good enough for them, articles are good enough for you. Okay, now, guess what? I am making videos. Every one of these articles I plan to make a companion video for. Okay? I'm going to make videos for them. But what's wrong with just reading? So are you telling me that if I have the answers you want, I have the answers that you need, but unless you get them in a video form, you're not going to pay attention? If you want the answers, go get the answers. Don't complain about how it's served. Be happy you're being fed. Okay? Videos are better, I know, but that's only because people are lazy. And guess what? I don't have any time for lazy learners. If you're a lazy learner, unfollow me. If you're a lazy person, unfollow me. You're not in the right place. I don't deal with lazy people. I'm going to challenge you. If you don't want to be challenged, okay? Hopefully you can open my blog. If you can't, then maybe it's because it's blocked in your country like Iran, I don't know. But most of you should be able to open it. And yes, for right now, Solo, for right now, my blog is free. For right now. But, oh, I've got something in my eye. It won't be free completely for long, okay? In the next few weeks, I am going to turn on the subscription model. And when I turn on the subscription model, that means that only some of the articles will be free. Okay? The rest of them, you'll have to subscribe if you want. Okay? I have been teaching for free for 5 years here. 4.5, 5 years. Okay? No more. Come on now. Please, stop asking me to do stuff for free. Please, stop. I'm telling you, I can't take it anymore. Okay? Alright, so, go to my blog, check it out. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. All right, why is it complicated to understand people who do not speak English, do not speak standard English? The accents are so complicated to understand that. It's the same thing as Spanish. Spanish is very different depending on where you go, right? I have heard that people who live in Chile, in southern Chile, I've heard that their Spanish is almost not understandable by anybody else who speaks Spanish because the accent and everything is so different. So languages are like that. There are many different accents. And then there are many different levels of proficiency, right? So there are good speakers and bad speakers. And then there are all the accents too. So the reason why it's hard to understand people is because there are so many different factors. Their accent is a factor. Their pronunciation is a factor. The speed of their speaking is a factor. Their vocabulary is a factor. All of these things are factors. And more. There are more. And the more factors there are, the more complicated it becomes. Okay? Nowadays, the younger generation has no patience to read articles. Well, guess what? Screw them. If that's you, then God help you, because I'm not going to. If you have no patience, that's not my problem. And as a matter of fact, that's a huge problem for you, not for me. Okay? If you have no patience, that's not a problem for me. That's a problem for you. Okay? You needed to turn on a VPN for the blog in Iran. Okay. Yeah, it may need to happen. Kessia is offering or recommending I use Substack. I looked into Substack. I'm considering Substack, but Kessia, the other thing is there are so many choices of what you can do in social media that you can't do them all. You just can't, right? So you've got Facebook, and you've got Instagram, and you've got WeChat, and you've got WhatsApp, and you've got Telegram, and you've got Signal, and you've got HelloTalk, and it's too many, right? At some point it becomes too many and kind of stupid. Pardon me. So I'm considering Substack, but I need to look into it more. I don't really see how it would benefit me specifically. I don't see how it would be any, what advantage it really has. I can't really see an advantage. I mean, it's better than Facebook, but everything's better than Facebook. Miriam is asking about what does remind me never to do something mean, like remind me never to backtalk boss? I'm not exactly sure what that means. Backtalking means talking back, like a child, right? When you say, go to bed right now, and they say, I don't wanna is backtalk, right? What is my blog? Yeah, my blog, if you go to here. There's my blog. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Let me try that again. Here it is. Okay, there you go. Now, is reading more effective or listening? Is your right hand more important than your right foot? Is your left foot more important than your right foot? Is your right hand more important than your left hand? Is your pointer finger more important than your thumb? It's a silly thing to talk about, is reading better than listening or talking? They're all important. You have to do them all. You have to do them all. Each one helps the other. When you learn how to read, it helps your vocabulary, it helps your listening, it helps your everything, right? So they all help each other. So you shouldn't just say, oh, well, reading is the best, so I'm going to just read. No, sorry, that's not how it works. Okay? You need to do them all. Let's see. Now people only accept short videos like in TikTok, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's why I don't do them. Screw those people. I am not going to help you become dumber. I'm a teacher. Sorry. So, helping you become dumber is not my job. Making my content dumber for you, not my job. No, my job is to make you smarter. So guess what? I'm working on a completely different model. If you don't want long form education, then I don't want you. I don't want anybody who wants TikTok. If you like TikTok, I don't want you. You don't deserve to be taught. You're lazy. Can't deal with you. Okay? You can do both, a Substack and a blog. Okay, I'll look into it. Kessia, thank you for the suggestion. I did think about it. You know, I did think about Substack. I looked into it a little bit. In my opinion, a nice way will be to have a subscription to Substack and have a AdSense in blog. Well, I chose to do my Buy Me a Coffee blog because I already had a Buy Me a Coffee page, Kessia. And I like the Buy Me a Coffee blog for one major reason. Because every time I make a post, at the bottom of the post, it says, give a tip. It says, you know, buy me a coffee. It says, make a contribution. I like that because I never ask for contributions ever. I don't ask for tips. I don't ask for gifts. I don't ask for anything. But, you know, that's why I like this. Because it has that reminder. You know, you should give me a tip. One moment. Yo. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'll be right there. Okay, hold on. All right, man. Be right there. I'll be right back, everybody. Give me 1 second, okay? All right, sorry about that. A friend of mine had to drop something off. Okay, let's see. Cassie, if you can help me, that would be great. I would appreciate it. Send me a message. I would really appreciate it. Okay, listen. You know, the whole thing about is listening more important. Okay, I have two answers, all right? Let me just give you my two answers. One answer is, no, they're not more important or less important, just like you need all of your limbs, okay? Reading, writing, listening, and speaking are the four limbs of your body. And then thinking is the one that ties them together, okay? So that's the way I look at language. Is about coordination of reading, writing, listening, speaking, and thinking. You need to coordinate those. Coordination requires all of them. Okay? So that's my first answer. My second answer would be that from a standpoint of how language is formed, listening is important because listening is the starting point. You hear it and then you start to try to understand it, right? So that's how babies work, right? So babies do two things at the same time. Babies listen for what's going on around them. And when they hear a sound consistently, if they hear mama a lot, they're going to associate the sound mama with the thing mama. That's one thing they're doing. They're associating sounds that they hear. The second thing that they're doing is they're playing with sounds, right? Babies make baby noises, right? Ba ba boo boo gaga goo goo, right? When they make those noises, that is them playing with sound to try to learn how to use their mouth and their how to make sounds, right? How to pronounce different kinds of things and make different sounds. And they're also playing with associating their own sounds with things, right? So for example, many babies have like a little toy that's their toy, right? It's their favorite toy. And many babies, they call it something. That's my whatever, my bee-boo, that's my jija, whatever. They make up a sound and they assign it to a thing. That's how language works, right? So language happens in many levels, okay? But yes, listening is an important one because listening is part of how we take what we hear around us and then start to try to understand it, right? To associate it with different things. So, from that standpoint, listening is very important, okay? However, can you say listening is more important than reading? No, because if you read a lot, you will learn a lot. Can you say that reading is more important than talking? No, because if you talk to the right people about the right things, you can learn a lot. Can you say that talking is more important than writing? No, because sometimes writing is the skill you need to really fine-tune your thoughts, fine-tune your ideas. You have time to craft it, okay? So they're all important, okay? Is it better to choose a topic to discuss in my voice room, or is it okay to talk randomly? I stopped doing voice rooms because I don't like them. I don't like voice rooms because there's too many desperate people like, please put me on the stage, please, please. Everybody's so desperate, and I get it. Everybody wants to talk, but it just feels like it feels impatient. I don't like the vibe. So I stopped doing them. So I don't really have great advice for that. Okay? When I did my voice rooms, I didn't choose any topics. I taught something. I would ask you, what do you need to learn? Like I would say, do you have a problem about reading? Tell me your problem. Do you have a problem about writing? Tell me your problem. Do you have a problem about vocabulary? Tell me your problem, and I will answer it. But I didn't just choose like, let's talk about sports. What do you think? And what do you think? No, I didn't do any of that. There are plenty of other people doing that. So I don't know. Okay. Don't drink a lot of coffee. It's harmful. We need you. Well, if I didn't drink coffee, I wouldn't be here. What do I think about English level? Do you always need to measure your level, and do you need to reach level C2? That's a good question. Most people do not need to reach C2 level. C2 level is a very limited type of English. C2 English is English for master's degree programs and for PhD programs and for professors who are out to dinner talking about things at an academic level. But the majority of people, 95% of people, do not speak at a C2 level. The majority of conversation happens around B1, B2, C1 level. Okay? That's where almost all major conversations happen, is in the B1, B2, C1 level. Okay? How do I stay so calm with all of you? I don't always. Real estate news, everybody wants to talk about it, but it feels so impatient, like I don't have the vibe, so I stopped doing them. Yeah, I don't know. What do I recommend to do every day to improve your English? Try to think in English as much as you can every day. That's it. Whatever language you are learning. If you are learning French, you should spend time thinking in French. If you are learning German, you should spend a lot of your day should be in German here. Okay? So whatever language you are learning, why aren't you spending time thinking in that language? Okay? Huh? Hello, Mary Shin Chao. Miguel. What did Miguel say here? What's the right way? Okay, first Flavia says, what's the right way to say sure? It's sure. Okay, sure. All right? Sure is also okay, sure. So SH, it can be or Both are okay. Sure, they're fine, okay? And Miguel says, can you activate donation here on YouTube? I probably can, Miguel, but I don't know how. I haven't monetized my YouTube channel at all, and it's sad because I just don't know how, and I don't have time. And quite frankly, that's the worst part about doing social media, is I don't want to learn about this stuff. I have no interest in social media itself. So it's so terrible because I have to spend the time learning it in order to use it. I hate it. So, you just opened your blog, but you don't know why there is another language. Russian? What? How weird. Just the menu is in Russian? Wow, okay, I don't know how to explain that. Okay, you can read and write, but you have problems speaking and writing. You intend to work online with European clients. Okay, well, Kessia, you can do it. A lot of European clients and business people, they do speak English, and some of them speak very well. Okay, so if you're dealing with Germans, a lot of Germans speak English pretty well, really well. Okay? It depends on what country, but many of the countries there, especially Northern Europe, they've got great English. It's amazing. If you go to Finland or whatever, they have no accent even sometimes. It's crazy. Mary from Vietnam, I don't know what you're trying to ask me. I don't understand, Mary. Let you help with your YouTube? Please, again, I told you, I would be happy to take some help if somebody is offering help. Your vocabulary level is C1 and you're good at reading and listening, but you can't speak at all. Your speaking is really bad. What do you suggest? If you can't speak, it's because you can't think in English. Spend more time thinking in English, and then the words will be comfortable in your mind. And if they're comfortable in your mind, then you will be able to speak them. Okay, so the secret of speaking is thinking. Okay? How to change passive words into active words. I learn and remember a lot of words. However, when it comes to speaking, I forgot all of them. All right. So, for example, the children ate the cookies. The children ate the cookies. That's talking about the children. Now, to make it passive, all you have to do is just stop talking about the children, talk about the cookies. The cookies were eaten by the children. Passive. Okay? Is that, I assume that's what you're talking about? Okay? So, all you have to do is, instead of talking about the person, you talk about the thing and what happened to the thing. Okay? Why don't I have a host or someone to help me? I don't know. I just don't. Because I'll tell you why. Because almost no one will do anything for free anymore. Almost no one does stuff because it's the right thing to do. So I don't have help because I can't afford help. You know? And because it's complicated. It's also very complicated. To be honest with you, sometimes it's complicated because if you want to help me, but you live someplace else, trying to coordinate the hours of when I'm going to be on and when you're going to be available and when you can do this, it's just, again, it becomes like, if help becomes difficult, help is not help anymore. Do you understand? Help has to be easy or it's not help. Does reading articles give the same benefit as reading books? Not exactly. No. Reading articles is good, but the benefit of reading books is different because books teach you grand ideas that you can't get in an article. An article only has the time to develop a straightforward approach to teaching you something. Books, especially fiction is designed to create a story that teaches you something. So it's not about 10 pages. You can't read 10 pages and get the story, get the point. You have to read the whole thing to get the point. Right? So if you read 10 pages of, 1984 or Animal Farm, you'll learn something, but you're not really going to understand what the book is supposed to be about. Okay, so Ezra is going to the park the same as walking in a forest? Is going to a small city park the same as walking in a forest? Okay? Sometimes you mix your past and present tense. Any advice to fix that? Practice more. Practice more. Use ChatGPT. Talk to ChatGPT. Tell ChatGPT that's part of your problem, that you have problems with tenses. Interact with it as much as you can. Choose a subject, right? Like talk about culture, talk about food, talk about music, talk about sports, whatever. Just talk about something with ChatGPT, and then after you finish, ask it to review your conversation, find your mistakes, analyze your mistakes, and then tell you how you can improve or fix them. Okay? If you do that enough, you will fix those problems. Okay? And yes, if it's a question, it would be, were the cookies eaten by the children? That's correct. Yes. All right. How to start practicing thinking in English. There's a video on my YouTube channel. It's a 5-minute video. It's called How to Think in English. You should watch it. Okay, there are 4 steps that I have taught many, many times here. That I teach a method of how you can learn how to think in English. But it's easier than you think. Start with this simple idea. Look around your room right now. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, look around your room right now. Do you know how to say everything in your room using English? Probably not. Start there. Don't you think it's funny that you're learning a language, and a language is used to express yourself about your life and your world? So one of the first things you should do is look around your life and your world and figure out, do I know how to talk about these things? Okay? That's a good start. And then you'll get the idea that the practice of thinking in English is about figuring out, what do I need to think about in English, right? What do I talk about all the time? What kinds of things do I talk about? Think about them, and then you're practicing. Okay? Think about them, and then you're practicing. Eric says the problem is we can't use ChatGPT in China. Eric, 用 DeepSeek 都可以随便 okay 差不多 okay all right I don't care okay if you use DeepSeek or you use ChatGPT or you use whatever, they're all fine. They will all do the same thing. Okay, every major AI that's out there right now has the capability to teach you about English and English grammar. Every one of them has they're good enough for that. So you have a free teacher all the time now. You just don't use it, and you just don't trust it. You just don't trust it or use it. Okay? Let's see. Besides Hello Talk, what do I recommend for incorporating into your routine? Kessia, what I tell people is that when you learn, many people, they ask me, what's the best way to learn English? And they think that I'm going to give them one answer. They think I'm going to say, well, reading is the best way, or videos are the best way, or YouTube is the best way, or whatever. But let me tell you, let me ask you this question. If you have 2 people, both of them are going to go up the mountain, okay? Both of them are going to hike up the mountain, okay? And one person has every tool they can use. They have planning, they have a map, they have a compass, they have a phone, they have food, they have water, they have equipment, they have everything they need. And the other person has nothing. They have one thing. No, we'll say they have one thing. They have a good pair of hiking boots, or maybe they have some water and some food. Who is going to get to the top of the mountain better? The person with just one thing, or the person with every method? Everything. So it's a stupid question when you say, what's the best way to learn? If you're looking for one answer, that's stupid, because of course it's not one thing. The best way to learn is every way to learn. That's the answer. Okay? So I have books, I have apps, I have friends, I have teachers, I have family, I have podcasts, I have YouTube, I have live streams, I have anything that I can get to help me learn, I will get. Okay? The passive voice is really easy, but I'm struggling when it comes to speaking and utilizing the passive voice. Well, fortunately, you don't need to use the passive voice very often. I don't use it very often in my life. You know, it's not that common to talk about the computer was used by him. When you could just say he used the computer. So almost everything that can be said in a passive voice can be said in an active voice, and there is no missing information. Okay, if I say he used the computer or the computer was used by him, it is no different. It is the same information told in a different way. So unless you're talking about a test, in real life, in most situations, you don't necessarily need the passive voice. Okay? Is there a feature where I can turn on the notifications for your live streams only? No, but you could tell HelloTalk that. You should tell HelloTalk, hey, I would love to get better notifications, but I don't want notifications from every single person because most of your live streamers are not good. But you could tell them, I would like to have notifications from the good live streamers. You could tell them that. How did I learn English? Of course, I learned English in school just like everybody else here. You can do that for the whole account, Frank says. You'll get notifications for it. Right. So you should, if you follow me, then you should get notifications for me. But I don't know how to, unless you just have to not follow anyone else. If you only want notifications for me, then you just have to stop following everybody else. ChatGPT always makes me feel like a genius even if I'm still not that good. Yeah, ChatGPT will, it does what we call, it blows smoke up your ass. Okay? To blow smoke up someone's ass means to flatter them. Okay? And ChatGPT is a people pleaser. It's a flatterer. So, yeah, I have a problem with that too. But guess what? I have told ChatGPT, I don't like it when you flatter me. I don't like it when you agree with me too much. I don't like it that you always say every idea I have is a brilliant idea. I tell it that. And the more you tell it that, the better it gets. It's still a people-pleasing flatterer, but it does pay attention if you tell it that you don't like that. If you tell it, don't call me a genius, I'm a dumbass. Say that to it, because guess what? It will agree with you again. It will say, oh, you're right, you're not a genius, you are a dumbass, so I shouldn't say, it agrees with everything you say, but that is a flaw only if you allow it to be a flaw. If you have a critical mind, and if you don't believe stuff easily, then you'll be fine. Okay? The people who use ChatGPT come in two kinds. Some people who use ChatGPT, they accept whatever ChatGPT told them. That's not me. Every answer ChatGPT has ever given me, I question. I say, prove it, or I say, show me the data, or I say, how did you come to this conclusion? Okay? Don't be so easily bought. Okay? Oh, thank you, Carabas, for that. I appreciate that. There aren't stupid questions? There are. Of course there are stupid questions. I could think of 1,000 stupid questions and tell them to you right now. I don't want my students to feel like they can't ask me things. But I do want my students to have a sense of personal responsibility in learning. So that means that I'll tell you what's a stupid question. A stupid question is a question that you didn't ask yourself first. And many people do that. They'll say, what's the best way to do this? And then I will ask them, did you ask yourself that question? Did you ask yourself that question? Did you try to answer that question yourself? If you didn't try to answer that question yourself, then that's a stupid question. Every question that you have, you should start by trying to answer it yourself. And if you can't, that's when you should try to find the answers from someone else. But many people just get lazy and they just ask the answer and they want it told to them. You know? Yeah. Okay, please be patient. Who created the English language first? Muhammad, that's a long story. The English language, just like most languages, it's a mix of many languages, right? So every language is formed through culture, and culture is a mix of different things at different times, right? So the history of the English language is something I have studied a lot. And it's a mixture of what we call the Anglo tribes, the Anglo-Saxon tribes, the Celtic tribes, the Jutes. There were a bunch of tribes that lived in England and a bunch of tribes that lived in Northern Europe, and they all moved together, and that's when we combined to create the Anglo-Saxons. And those were the first English people. But those people, the Anglos, they were a mixture of many different influences. So there was influence from Germanic languages, Norse languages, French, Latin. There were many, many influences. Okay, so it's complicated. I think there are no stupid questions when a person sincerely wants to learn. Yeah, that's true. But like I said, if you sincerely want to learn, then the first question, whatever question you have, the first person you should ask is yourself. Okay? So I often find that sometimes people don't ask themselves first. And that's what I want you to understand, is that you can ask yourself this question and find the answer. And guess what? I use ChatGPT for that every single day. Every single day I ask ChatGPT to answer the questions I have about life that I don't understand, about concepts that I want to know more about ideas I have that I want to explore. So ask it. Okay? Hello, Giuseppe. How are you, my friend? It must take a pretty long time to form the English language. Well, yeah. All languages take a pretty long time to form. And the truth is, that's a really weird way to say it, because languages are never fully formed. English is still changing and growing now. The rules are still changing. We still add vocabulary words. We change the way we pronounce things. So language is a living thing. It never has a permanent form. Okay? Just like humans, right? This is what humans look like now. But 1,000 years from now, maybe will look different. 10,000 years from now, maybe will look different than that. Right? We are changing right now. We just can't notice it. The change happens so slowly that we don't see it, but it's happening. So language is like that too. It's always changing. You know? You've memorized above 2,000 words in grammar, but you can't yeah. Memorizing is not a good way. Just start speaking. Get a travel phrase book. Get an English travel phrase book. Use it. An English travel book is much better than most English books, because travel books teach you how to use the language quickly. They teach you about practical use of the language. How to use it at a restaurant, how to use it at a bank, how to use it to get a taxi. That's practical. Use that. Okay? Use that. Okay, listen, I haven't talked to anybody today, and I apologize. I did want to talk to at least a few people, but I didn't get a chance to. Let's see. Oh, no, okay. But, and again, guys, I know sometimes I think maybe you guys think I'm a little bit confrontational, right? I'm a little aggressive, okay? That's true. You're right. I am. Okay? I take the things that I do seriously. When I'm here on this camera, I take it seriously. And every teacher wants students that are as serious about learning as they are about teaching. Okay? So what I want from you is I want you to be as serious about learning as I am about teaching. Okay? And that means that I have to push you. And that means I have to tell you sometimes you're wrong. That means sometimes I have to tell you you're lazy. Okay? A good teacher will do that. All of my best teachers did. All of my favorite teachers sometimes told me I was wrong. Sometimes told me I was lazy. Sometimes told me I need to work harder. Okay? And guess what? I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did. Okay? Kessia. Oh, look, see, now Kessia is serious about learning. How do I know Kessia is serious about learning? Because I told Kessia that there is a 5-minute video called How to Think in English on my YouTube channel. And what did she do? She went and immediately watched it. Well done, Kessia. That is a student who cares. That's a student who wants to learn. Okay? So can I tell you more about baby steps? Sure. Baby steps in English is just about thinking like a baby. Babies think about simple things like how they feel. I'm happy, I'm tired, I'm sad, I'm hungry. Babies feel, I want this, I don't want that. I like this, I don't like that. I need this, I don't need that. That's very simple. That's very simple language. So what I want you to do is every single day, every single simple thought that you have, anything that a baby could think, you should think in English. So the first step of thinking in English is changing every simple thought you have to an English thought. So don't think I'm hungry in your native language. Think I'm hungry in English. Don't think I'm tired in your native language. Think I'm tired in English. Don't think about what you need to do. Don't think about what you like. You know, those are things that are simple thoughts, but just think of them in English. That's the first step. Okay? Step 1 is I like ice cream. I don't like broccoli. Very simple. Okay? So do that every single day. And then be like a baby. Babies are always looking around and trying to define their world. That's what babies do. They look around and they try to understand the things that are around them. Do that. Do you know what this is called in English? Do you know what this is called in English? Right? Do you know what this is called in English? Look around your room and ask yourself that simple question. Do you know what that's called? Can you talk about it? If you can't, now you know what to work on. Okay? How much time should you think in English every day? As much as you can. I won't tell you how much. I will tell you that the more that you think in English, the better. Okay? So tomorrow, try 10% of your day. 10% of your day, try to think in English. Okay? But it's really better not to think about that. It's better just to try to use it as much as possible. Okay? It's better to use it as much as possible. Okay. Guys, it's 1:12. I'm sorry, it's 11:31, and I've been here for an hour and 12 minutes. I need to go. I have some work I need to do. I need to write some blog posts. But before I go, I'm going to remind you again to please go to my blog. Go to my blog. Here is my link tree. On my link tree, you will find my website. On my link tree, you will find my blog. On my link tree, you will find my YouTube. You will find my podcast. You'll find everything that I have on my link tree. So go there. And you can also go right to my blog if you'd like to. You can go right directly to my blog and read some of the articles that I wrote. Okay? There's my blog. You should go and read some articles. My YouTube channel, if you go to the link tree, Liz, go to the link tree and you'll find the YouTube channel. Okay? Everything is on the link tree. All right? For some reason, they don't let me put my YouTube channel here anymore. Every time I try to copy and paste it, it doesn't work. Let me try one more time. Oh, it did. There it is. I don't know why it didn't work before. There you go. There's my Buy Me a Coffee. There's my website. And there is my YouTube. Okay? Okay. That's it, everybody. Thank you guys for watching and listening and participating. Thank you, Miguel and Flavia and Liz and all of my regular watchers and listeners and followers. Thank you. You know what I really love? I love to look in my audience and see my regulars. I see Ghost and Gayla and Egg, Zoe, hello, and Fluffy and Angela and Matthew, hello, Matthias, and let's see, Olivia's here, yeah. Who else do I recognize? If I don't recognize you, then do you know what you should do? You should go leave me some messages. You should leave me a comment. You should like my posts. If you want me to recognize you, then you should like things. You should leave some comments. I'll see it. Okay? Giuseppe, hello. Thank you very much. Hello, Eric. Thank you. Thank you for everybody. I appreciate it very much. I will see you guys tomorrow. I have to go. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, wherever you live in the world, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay? Bye, everyone.